Welcome to lesson 7.22, problems about a fraction of a group. Now, I'm a little tired of looking at all this ragtag kind of math that you've been doing in this class, and so I've decided to make it just a little bit fancier for you as we understand this concept about a fraction of a group. Now, we've already understood the concept of equal group problems, but this also leads us to understand what's known as a fraction of a group. So let's take a look at some examples here. First of all, we see the idea that 2/3 of the students in the class wore sneakers on Monday. If they weren't going to this school, they were running laps in flip-flops. All right, how are we going to break this down to understand it? Basically, we want to draw ourselves a picture, right? I've taken the time to draw the picture for you, but we see how we understand that we are working with thirds. And so I drew a rectangle and broke it into 3 equal groups. From there, I inserted a label because I'm understanding students, right? And then I highlighted my fractional parts with my brackets and labeled what these fractional parts mean. So it says 2/3 wore sneakers, and so I illustrated that in my picture. This illustration helps us understand the fractional parts, but usually a problem doesn't end right there. Let's take a look at how problems usually get extended. Usually we see a situation like this. We see the 2/3 once again, and we see the fact that they are wearing sneakers again. However, now we have given a amount or a total that we're working with. This total is now going to enable you to understand and come up with a concrete number for how many of the children or students actually wore tennis shoes that day. From here, we're going to initially start with the same picture. We're going to start with our students. We're going to break into 3 boxes. We're going to add our brackets, put our fractions down, label our fractions. But from here, then we can add in a couple new parts. All right. We start by adding in the idea of the total number of students that we're looking at. From there, we're able to think about the fact that, yes, we're working with thirds. So we broke it into 3 equal groups, which means we need to take the total and divide it by 3. Once we've divided it by 3, we understand that it's 9, and then, of course, we put our 9 and label our students accordingly. From here, then, we're able to figure out what 2/3 of the 27 students is. By now taking our 2 boxes, 9 plus 9, we get the understanding that we have 18 students who wore sneakers. This understanding of fractional groups is very beneficial. Let's try one more so we can understand the concepts that we're looking at here as we go through a brand new problem. It says diagram this statement. Diagram basically is saying make an equal group problem. Then it says answer the questions that follow. So let's break it down piece by piece. I think I'm going to get out my fancy pen for this. All right, here we go. 2/5 of the 30 students in the class are boys. All right. Let's start by adding our labels. Once again, we're dealing with students. We want to understand our fractional parts. Right? We have our 2/5, so we can throw in our 2/5. And of course, this 2/5 stands for 2/5 of boys. Gentleman would probably be a better word here, but we must use the words of the book. From here, then we can branch our other groupings, which of course is going to give us a total of 3/5. And the book is going to emphasize girls, though I think ladies would be more appropriate. But now that we've broken this down, right, then we can of course understand that we're dealing with fifths. And so we need to take our total from our problem, 30. So we're going to put our 30. We're going to divide by 5. And now we can put our numbers in place in the corresponding boxes and insert our labels. For the sake of time, I'm just going to write the 1 here and continue on. From here, we can now answer the question, how many boys are in there? We look at our fractional parts, and we understand that our fractional parts tell us that we have 2/5. So this plus this. So how many boys are there? There are 12 boys. And so how many girls would that be? From here, we can do one of two steps. Since we understand boys, we could subtract it from the total, or we could also add the remaining students. Either way, we're going to come away with a response of 18 girls. This shows you the complete steps that you would need to take to solve such a problem. Well, I hope this lesson has inspired you to understand the finesse that can be found in math. So go ahead and try this sample problem. I did throw a little twist in there, as the initial problem starts with a percentage. And so step 1 is going to be converting to a fraction. But I know that you have that knowledge and that you are quite capable. So best of luck to you all. Until next time, this is Lesson 22.